So this question, we come around, goes to Colleen Huff first, and we'll just come right down the table. The question is this: the issue of the future of Independence Power and Light is currently being reviewed by a consultant with recommendations of whether to keep the utility or look for privatization. And I should add that the City Council has indicated this is going to go to the voters in a year or two, probably a couple of years. Based on what information we have today, what do you think the future of IPL should look like? Colleen Huff.
Well, I think there are both sides. There's people that want to keep it. There's people that want to sell it. This is not a new issue. This has been going on for a very long time. And, you know, we've heard council members say that IPL is broke, but then all of a sudden we're going to lease a new GEHA building with money from IPL. So my perspective on it is just that we're hearing so many different stories, and I think I am going to defer to what the people want on the ballot.
Tony Sommer.
Just really quick about what Colleen was talking about, that she does have a homelessness charity, and I think it's a good organization, and she should be very proud of it. But so to utilities. To me, I have really looked into this deeply, and I understand the arguments for selling it, but I have not been convinced. As it was stated in the question, we have this study coming in. I think it's going to come in this summer. So we're really all kind of waiting around to see what this study is going to say. To me, I believe the best model going forward, instead of selling it, because selling it should be the option of last resort, since it's so hard to unring that bell when you sell it. Instead, I would prefer to move to the Springfield model with a public utilities board instead of a public utilities advisory board. So the idea would be to have a public utility board made up of experts appointed by the city council. And this really solves two big problems. One is that city council people are not experts in running a utility. As Colleen said, she runs a charity for homeless people. Councilman Perkins is a meat cutter. I'm a software engineer. None of that qualifies any of us to run a utility. So we should be able to appoint experts to run our utility for us, and hopefully they'll be able to run it better than a lot of the non-experts on the city council. The second benefit is that it takes a lot of the politics out of it. It creates a little bit of separation between the political process and the running of the utility. So you don't really get these, you don't get the same issues with Rockwood and Missouri City to the same degree, because the experts running the utility are not going to have these political motivations involved. Thank you.
IPL, John Perkins.
Big question, generational question, something that has been in the forefront for many years, many decades. As you know, the energy industry, it fluctuates rapidly with new technology, new initiatives, new policies coming from Washington that brings policies to where we have to enact. How do we move forward with the City of Independence? I believe that moving forward is waiting for the results from DKMT, who is the city who has retained to review. Do we keep the utility, and what does that look like? What does that investment cost? If we do keep the power and light, there is a substantial investment to make that a mean, lean electrical machine in the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. That is an investment that we need to take a look at and have plenty of community engagements with our citizens about. If the information comes back and we have it and we present it, that will be a formula of what does it look like if we sell that. Do we have to change the charter? What does that look like? What is the market value that we have with the power and light? Do we sell the whole thing? Do we sell transmission and distribution? One of the biggest assets the City of Independence has that is we actually have a permit to produce power. That is huge in this region. That is huge in this country. So we have to make very wise decisions. But it's one of those generational decisions. We will all be long dead before we have to pay any debt service off if we keep the power and light. So we will analyze it. We will debate it. We will have community engagements. We will put it on the ballot, and the citizens of Independence will decide the direction that Independence Power and Light will go.
The question is this: the issue of the future of Independence Power and Light is currently being reviewed by a consultant with recommendations on whether to keep the utility or look at privatization. And I should add, the City Council has said this is going to go to the voters in the next couple of years. Based on what information we have today, what do you think the future of IPL should look like, Mr. Nesbitt?
Okay, the future of IPL. It's been talked about, kicked down the road, like Kenneth said, for years now. If they'd have did something back 10, 15, 20 years ago, IPL would have been just fine. But basically, we keep kicking it down the road. We should go ahead and fix the power plant. I mean, just like what Trump says, drill, baby, drill. We're going to have oil. We're going to have coal. We got to get it fixed up so that we can get the city back to having its power. That is the problem. We need our own power. We don't need to go out and buy it. I mean, there's lots of power out there. There's people who knows how to fix this stuff. We just got to invest in it and get it done correctly and get it done right. So my opinion is that we need to stay with Power and Light. We need to keep them. I don't understand why we picked a firm to do both sides. That is kind of weird. They should have had two independent firms, but that's just, I'm not on the council, so I couldn't say a word about it. So that's the way it is. That's why I like to get on the council, so I can at least have a word, plus have the people's word to it spoken out there about that. So my opinion is that IPL should stay, and we should not be kicking it down the can. We need to get it fixed and get it fixed right.
Heather Wiley, thoughts on IPL?
So the citizens of Independence are going to answer this question: whether to retain ownership and invest in the development of energy generation, transmission, and distribution ourselves, or to sell these assets to an external entity with the economic resources to handle these operations. Owning IPL is a really unique position. The citizens of Independence are the current shareholders. As you all know, the city did hire an outside firm to study these issues: costs, environmental options, reliability, governance and oversight, effect on the general fund, and effect on the IPL employees. IPL employs 15% of the employee base in Independence. And I've met a lot of employees going door to door, and they're really proud of what they do, and they're proud of the safety awards they've won. Also, if we lose our electricity in this town, it's restored faster than anyone in the area. So my job will be empowering citizens with accurate information once the study is released. It's essential to ensure that the public has the information that they need to weigh the benefits and the drawbacks. And I see town hall meetings, virtual and in person, and I think my communication experience will be helpful to educate the voters of the city and my district. Thanks.
Kenneth Love, IPL.
Fantastic question. I need to stand to answer this. 3.5 years ago, Councilman at Large Mike Huff brought a resolution to the residents of Independence to help reduce our rates. Since then, the only thing we've gotten is our rates went back up. I am in favor of building a bigger and better power plant. We must move forward. We're not going to see this, folks. We're all going to be 6 foot in the ground by the time these things happen. Our government is forcing electric vehicles on us. So your kids, grandkids, great-grandkids are going to be the one that takes effect of this. With that being said, if we cannot produce enough electricity today, where are we going to get the electricity years down the road? What is it going to cost us? Is a normal resident going to be able to afford electricity then? No. I would love to see, this is a nasty word, folks, a nuclear power plant being built in the city of Independence. We do have the rights. We do have the permits when it comes to coal and natural gas. There's not many cities around us have any permits. So that is a benefit to Independence because we do hold those permits. If the residents make the decision to sell IPL, don't think you're going to get this big $3,000, $4,000 check. You're going to be lucky to get maybe $300 or $400, maybe $500, and that is the only check you're going to get. No more, except for higher and higher electric bills.
Nick Huff, your thoughts on IPL?
As the term keeps getting passed around, we need to quit kicking the can down the road. We need power generation. As they keep closing coal plants across the Midwest, energy is going to be like gold. We need to be self-reliable. If we were sold to Evergy, being that we're a municipality, we won't be put on a plan where they're not controlling our thermostats. Power is going to be gold, like I said. People will be voting on us eventually, but we need to quit doing all these studies. We spend money every 3 or 4 years for a study, and it's always the same thing. We need power. Everybody knows that. So we need to figure out what we're going to do, get some generation, put it to the voters, and get it done. Thanks.